भक्तावासं स्मरेन् नित्यम् आयुः कामार्थसिद्धये प्रथमं वक्रतुण्डं च एकदन्तं द्वितीयकं तृतीयं कृष्णपिङ्गाक्षं गजवक्त्रं चतुर्थकं लम्बोदरं पञ्चमं च षष्ठं विकटमेव च सप्तमं विघ्नराजं च धूम्रवर्णं तथाष्टमं नवमं बालचन्द्रं च दशमं तु विनायकम् एकादशं गणपतिं द्वादशं तु गजाननं द्वादशैतानि नामानि त्रिसन्ध्यं यः पठेन्नरः न च विघ्नभयं तस्य सर्वसिद्धिकरं प्रभो इति नारदपुराणे सङ्कटनाशनगणेशस्तोत्रं सम्पूर्णम्. Om. We will do extracts from Guru Stotram. अखण्डमण्डलाकारं व्याप्तं येन चराचरं तत्पदं दर्शितं येन तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः. अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः. गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णुः गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरुः साक्षात् परब्रह्म तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः. ब्रह्मानन्दं परमसुखदं केवलं ज्ञानमूर्तिं द्वन्द्वातीतं गगनसदृशं तत्त्वमस्यादिलक्ष्यम् एकं नित्यं विमलमचलं सर्वधी साक्षिभूतं भावातीतं त्रिगुणरहितं सद्गुरुं तं नमामि. ओम. हिंदू दक्षिणामूर्ति स्तोत्रम. ओम. मौन व्याख्या प्रकटित पर ब्रह्म तत्त्वं युवानं वर्षिष्टान्ते वसुदृशिगणैः आवृतं ब्रह्मनिष्ठैः आचार्येन्द्रं करकलितचिन्मुद्रमानन्दरूपं स्वात्मारामं मुदितवदनं दक्षिणामूर्तिमीडे. वटपिटपि समीपे भूमिभागे निषन्नं सकलमुनिजनानां ज्ञानदातारमारात् त्रिभुवनगुरुमीशं दक्षिणामूर्तिदेवं जननमरणदुःखच्छेददक्षं नमामि. चित्रं वटतरोर्मूले वृद्धा शिष्या गुरुर्युवा गुरोस्तु मौनं व्याख्यानं शिष्यास्तु छिन्न संशया निधये सर्वविद्यानां विषजे भवरोगिणां गुरवे सर्वलोकानां दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः. ओम नमः प्रणवार्थाय शुद्धज्ञानैकमूर्तये निर्मलाय प्रशान्ताय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः. ओम. स्तोत्रम प्रॉपर. विश्वं दर्पण दृश्यमान नगरी तुल्यं निजान्तर्गतं पश्यन्नात्मनि मायया बहिर्बोधभूतं यथा निद्रया यः साक्षात् कुरुते प्रबोध समये स्वात्मानमेवाद्वयम् तस्मै श्री गुरुमूर्तये नमः. इदं श्री दक्षिणामूर्तये. बीजस्यान्तरिवाङ्कुरो जगदिदं परां निर्विकल्पं पुनः माया कल्पित देश काल कलना वैचित्र्यचित्रीकृतम् मायावीव विजृम्भयत्यपि महायोगी वय स्वेच्छया तस्मै श्री गुरुमूर्तये नमः. इदं श्री दक्षिणामूर्तये. यस्यैव स्फुरणं सदात्मकम् असत्कल्पार्थकं भासते साक्षात् तत्त्वमसीति वेदवचसा यो बोधयत्याश्रितान् यः साक्षात् करणात् भवेन्न पुनरावृत्तिर्भवाम्भो निधौ तस्मै श्री गुरुमूर्तये नमः. इदं श्री दक्षिणामूर्तये. नानाछिद्रघटोदरस्थितमहादीपप्रभा भास्वरम् ज्ञानं यस्य तु चक्षुरादिकरणद्वारा बहिस्पन्दते जानामीति तमेव भान्तमनुभाति तत्समस्तं जगत् तस्मै श्री गुरुमूर्तये नमः. इदं श्री दक्षिणामूर्तये. देहं प्राणमपीन्द्रियाण्यपि चलान् बुद्धिं च शून्यं विदुः स्त्रीबालान्धजडोपमास्त्वहमिति भ्रान्ता वृषंवादिनः मायाकल्पित माया शक्ति विलास कल्पित महाव्यामोह संहारिणे तस्मै श्री गुरुमूर्तये नमः. इदं श्री दक्षिणामूर्तये. राहुग्रस्त दिवाकरेन्दु सदृशो माया समाच्छादनात् सन्मात्रकरणोपसंहरणतो यो भूत्सुषुप्तः पुमान् प्रागस्वाप्समिति प्रबोध समये यः प्रत्यभिज्ञायते तस्मै श्री गुरुमूर्तये नमः इदं श्री दक्षिणामूर्तये। बाल्यादिष्वपि जागृदादिषु तथा सर्वास्वस्थास्वपि व्यावृत्तास्वनुवर्तमानमहमित्यन्तः सदा स्वात्मानं प्रकटीकरोति भजतां यो मुद्रया भद्रया तस्मै श्री गुरुमूर्तये नमः इदं श्री दक्षिणामूर्तये। विश्वं पश्यति कार्यकारणतया स्वस्वामि सम्बन्धतः शिष्याचार्यतया तथैव पितृपुत्राध्यात्मना भेदतः स्वप्ने जाग्रति वा एष पुरुषो माया परिभ्रामितः तस्मै श्री गुरुमूर्तये नमः श्री दक्षिणामूर्तये। भूरम्भांस्य नलो नीलोम्बरम् अहर्नाथो हिमांशुः पुमान् इत्याभाति चराचरात्मकमिदं यस्यैव मूर्त्यष्टकम् नान्यत्किञ्चन विद्यते मृषतां यस्मात् परस्मात् विभोः तस्मै श्री गुरुमूर्तये नमः इदं श्री दक्षिणामूर्तये। सर्वात्मत्वमिति स्फुटीकृतमिदं यस्मादमुष्मिंस्तवे तेनास्य श्रवणात् तदर्थमननात् ध्यानाच्च संकीर्तनात् सर्वात्मत्वमहाविभूतिसहितं स्यादीश्वरत्वं स्वतः सिद्ध्ये तत्पुनरष्टधा परिणतं च ऐश्वर्यमव्याहतम् इति दक्षिणामूर्ति स्तोत्रम्। विष्णु गीता ध्यान। ओम पार्थाय प्रतिबोधितां भगवता नारायणेन स्वयं व्यासेन ग्रथितां पुराणमुनिना मध्ये महाभारतम् अद्वैतामृतवर्षिणीं भगवतीम् अष्टादशाध्यायिनीम् अम्ब त्वामनुसन्दधामि भगवद्गीते भवद्वेषिणीम्। नमोऽस्तु ते व्यासविशालबुद्धे फुल्लारविन्दायतपत्रनेत्र येन त्वया भारततैलपूर्णः प्रज्वालितो ज्ञानमयप्रदीपः प्रपन्नपारिजाताय तोत्रवेत्रैकपाणये ज्ञानमुद्राय कृष्णाय गीतामृतदुहे नमः। सर्वोपनिषदो गावः गोब्धा गोपालनन्दनः पार्थो वत्स सुधीर भोक्ता दुग्धं गीतामृतं महत् वसुदेवसुतं देवं कंसचाणूरमर्दनं देवकी परमानन्दं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुम्। भीष्मद्रोणतटा जयद्रथजला गान्धारनीलोत्पल शल्यग्राहवती कृपेण वहनी कर्णेन वेलाकुला अश्वत्थामविकर्णघोरमकरा दुर्योधनावर्तिनीं सोतीर्णा खलु पाण्डवैरणनदी कैवर्तक केशवः पाराशर्यवचः सरोजममलं गीतार्थगन्धोत्कटं नानाख्यानककेसरं हरिकथा सम्बोधनाबोधितं लोके सज्जन षट्पतैरहरः पेपीयमानं मुदा भूयाद् भारत पंकजं कलिमल प्रध्वंसिन श्रेयसे मूकं करोति वाचालं पंगुं लंघयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे परमानन्दमाधवम्। यं ब्रह्मा वरुणेन्द्र रुद्रमरुतः स्तुन्वन्ति दिव्यैस्तवैः वेदैः संगपदक्रमोपनिषदैः गायन्ति यं सामगाः ध्यानावस्थिततद्गतेन मनसा पश्यन्ति यं योगिनः यस्यान्तं न विदुःसुरासुरगणा देवाय तस्मै नमः। ओम श्री कृष्ण परमात्मने नमः। अथ दशमोऽध्यायः विभूति योग नाम दशमोऽध्यायः। We'll chant a few verses and then we will get into verse proper. श्री भगवानुवाच भूय एव महाबाहो शृणु मे परमं वचः यत्तेऽहं प्रीयमाणाय वक्ष्यामि हितकाम्ययाः न मे विदुः सुरगणाः प्रभवं न महर्षयः अहमादिर्हि देवानां महर्षीणां च सर्वशः यो मां Yo mamajamanadim cha vetti lokamaheshwaram asammooda samartyeshu sarva papai pramuchyate. We have seen up to this. Okay. While studying Vedanta, we follow something called abhyasa. Abhyasa means repeat it as many times as possible. Yeah, practice, but the better word is repeat it as many times as possible. When you repeat it as many times as possible, it will be easier for Manan. And I don't have to give an English translation for everyone. I don't have to do an English translation. Wherever I can give you the term without having to delve too deeper into, so that we can spend more time in understanding the truth. For example, very often we use the word artha. Artha means meaning. Artha also means wealth. Let's not get any confusion on this. Okay? Well, artha means wealth. Wealth gives you security. So wealth. So always for understanding, understand wealth, artha as wealth. Then there is something called kama. Understand kama as pleasures. Okay, there's no harm in understanding it as pleasure. That's what it means. Artha kama. Understand it as artha, wealth and pleasures. Understand dharma as a structure of common norms for human interaction, for easy human interaction. Dharma. Don't confuse it with religion. Don't bring religion into all. Dharma is common, a structure of common norms for easy human interaction. Now let's go to moksha. Don't get into this trap like salvation and things like that. Moksha means freedom. Very often in Tamil, when some people is in so much trouble, he will say, when do I get very moksham? When do I get out of all this? When do I get free? Liberation. Liberation also is a confusing word. Liberation from what? From being a wanting person. Yeah, so better understanding, moksha means freedom. Moksha means freedom. So understand these basic terms like this. So let's quickly look into, before we come to this, let's look at some fundamentals again and again as many times as necessary, so that the fundamental structure in should be very strong. See, understand, for any, this is not a belief system, first. Anything is which we say is universal must have a foundation, a basic structure, which is valid for everyone, every human being. So we have to understand the structure. The structure is, I am a conscious, self-conscious being. No escape from that, okay? I am an individual entity. I am inclined to be self-judgmental. And when I judge myself and I'm self-conscious and I see myself as an individual entity, I see myself as different from everything else. Everything else is vast. It limits me and I feel insecure. All these are facts, okay? Facts for everybody in this world. I feel insecure. I am not comfortable with this security. My search for security starts. And when I search for my security, there are already pictures provided by people. This is how you search for security. You have artha, wealth, which is used for buying pleasures. Artha itself is a pleasure sometimes. Okay. Artha, kama. This will buy you pleasures. And In the presence of Artha and Kama, you see yourself as relatively secure. This relatively secure person is acceptable to myself. The only problem is this we call it relatively acceptable because the acceptability seems to go away. Nobody seems to have all the wealth in the world. You want to try? Whether somebody has all the wealth, you go ask him for a donation. Go to the richest man in the country and tell him, I want a donation. We have a cause. We are doing a Bhagavad Gita Satsang and we want to put it on a website. It is being done by so and so. We want it to be available to people. Please give us a donation. This is February. You know what his answer is going to be? This year's budget is over. The richest man is wanting. He won't give you 1,000 rupees. So even the richest fellow is wanting in some place. So you know that this is temporary. And this temporary is not acceptable. Okay? So either this temporary must be reality, in which case you have no problem. Feeling insecurity is a reality, there is no way out. So grin and bear it. Is it acceptable to you? No. There is a way out. This way out is provided by Vedanta. It says perhaps you are looking at yourself differently. You are looking at yourself as an insecure person, whereas the reality is you are not insecure. So looking at myself as an insecure, small, inadequate, insignificant, wanting person is a conclusion which is not based on facts. So I will be using an expression for this. It's called avichara siddham. Something I have concluded without understanding the facts. Okay, like I saw a play in which the fellow says, I don't suffer from inferiority complex. I am plain inferior. And oh, everybody will clap. You will feel better even claiming that you are inferior. So avichara siddham. So this conclusion needs an examination. Okay. Having said this, in my vision, when I see something, I want answers. I see myself. I see a world, Jagat. Aham, Jagat, and I look for a cause. Who did all this? When things are going for me, fine. These days, every day in the YouTube, there is, they say in the Meena Rashi, what has not happened in 30 years is going to happen now. So what has not happened in my last 30 years is going to happen now. I don't know what's going to happen. So see, it's make me feel, oh my God, every day I read what's written there. See, I want me to do this because there is a certain equation for which I don't have answers. There is anxiety. How are things going to be? I want answers. I want to know the cause. Otherwise, I'm a good guy. Why should I go through all these knocks? I want an answer. I want a cause. For that, there is an answer available in the Vaidika Parampara. In the Vedas, answer is available. And the answer is available in the form of words, texts. When I read, I might not understand it, or I may not understand the purport. I might even come up with different kind of conclusions. Therefore, I need a teacher who knows how to unfold, to unlock the meaning to me. So, therefore, Guru becomes a very important person in one's life. One more thing. Why is being born in India great? Why is being born in the Vaidika Parampara great? Quite simply because there is a world picture of how to become acceptable to yourself. There is a different picture, a Vedic picture, which comes and says you are never limited in the first place. Is that acceptable to you? Are you willing to give it a look? We are born into this culture. There is an endowment, a Vedic vision about myself, which Krishna says here, Hita Kamyaya, I am giving you this vision so that it's for your good, not for his good. He doesn't want applause. 18 or divisions of army, only one fellow is hearing him. Not for him. He says, Hita Kamyaya, for you I am giving you. Suppose somebody comes and tells me you are looking at inadequate here. It is a conclusion. You are actually a significant being. You are not only a significant being, you are the significant being. Goes further and says, you are the only significant being, which opens out my vision and gives me freedom from the smallness, from the insignificance, from the struggle for becoming better. Is it worth it? That's why being born in this Vaidika parampara is important. Having a guru is important because it's something unique. That's why in the previous chapter we studied Raja Vidya, Raja Guhya Yoga. It is something unique. This fundamental we must repeat it. Whether you're reading or listening, please keep this in your mind very strongly. Now, the first section of the Bhagavad Gita, the teacher answered the question, who am I? The second section, which is called the Madhyama Shatkam, the teacher is answering the question, what is it that you are seeing? And we don't see a vastu, remember. If you say what I see is thing, this is going to become a thing. It's not going to work. We have to look at this, what you see. I'm going to use another technical term, easy to understand. Drishya prapancha. Prapancha means made up of 5 elements, visible to you. Okay? Visible, tangible. So for this, I'm going to use the expression Drishya prapancha. This prapancha, Drishya prapancha, is not a thing. It is not a vastu. The Gita comes and tells you, the teacher comes and tells you, this is Ishvara's manifestation. Is it some wild statement? Is it not? I'm going to show you a piece of. Let me show you. Yeah? The handkerchief. Handkerchief. There is cotton in this. There is only cotton. Cotton is an order of reality. Handkerchief is another order of reality. If you take it as a thing and ignore the cause, you are missing something. The cause, cotton, manifests itself here as a handkerchief. It can be a shirt, it can be a turban, it can be a ribbon. So the first order of reality, cotton is called Atma and the objects are called Anatma, Mithya, because there is no independent object called handkerchief minus the cause which made it. So when I use this expression Mithya, we should never understand this as something non-existent. Mithya should be understood as something which is not independently existent. A gold pair of earrings. There is no ring minus the gold which made it. So that's how you should understand Mithya. So this manifestation that the Jagat you see is the material cause of Ishvara. Okay, let's go further. Okay. Now, you see, this is a pen. Okay, I know because of this background thing, this blurs. This is a pen. Okay. I am able to feel it. Okay. See the nib, right with it. This is called pratyaksham. Okay. Now, I describe something to you, but do not show it to you. Okay. Let's take a different variety of a pen, a self-filling ink, or something like that. Now, what is not pratyaksham is indirect. Indirect is paroksham. That means I know it by some other means of knowledge and I have to reinforce it by a pratyaksham. Now I'm going to ask you a question. Is Ishvara pratyaksham? Do you see? Is he paroksham? We start looking for paroksha Ishvara. That's why the problem. We have concluded he is not here. We look up there. So this paroksha Ishvara is thought to be explained in this section. You have to understand Ishvara. So therefore, where do we start? How did this Srishti begin? Okay, I don't know whether I'm sure many of you would have heard. I remember asking my grandmother, how does it rain? So my grandmother used to say that there is a god up there. His name is Varuna Bhagwan. He has a huge pot, mud pot, and an aluminium jug. So when you guys behave well, okay, listen to grandma and listen to your parents, he will dip that jug into that huge pot and pour water. And when he is dipping that, there will be a noise when that jug hits the pot. That is thunder. The shining aluminium is lightning, and then water cascades down. And as children, we listen to her open mouth. Wow, how much my grandma knew. No, you know the reality. It doesn't happen like that. But do you dismiss your grandma? Do you call her a fool? Somebody says, early morning, Brahma Muhurta, Surya gets up, he brushes his teeth. A fellow will tell and say he uses this particular brand of toothpaste and toothbrush. Another fellow will say he uses the Dantamanjan bought from my ashram. He rides on a chariot with 7 white horses and comes riding. Does it look phenomenal? But do you know the reality? We know that. In the same way, we have to start somewhere. So where do we start? Where is Ishvara Paroksha? So there are sections. Some say he is in Kailasha, some say he is in Vaikunta, some say he is in Goloka Vrindavana. So let's say Vaikunta. Oh, Vaikunta, where is it? Oh, it is far. Good. At least now you are able to relate. Far away Vaikunta. And how will Vishnu be there? He will be lying in Adisesha. And he'll be a sea of, an ocean of milk. Shira Sagar. He'll be Neela Megha Shama, Pitambaram. He'll be relaxed. Lakshmi will be at his feet. He will have Makara Kundala. No, ear ornament shaped like the face of a crocodile. He has curly hairs peeping out of the crown that is on his head. He smiles. He is ever smiling. His lips are rosy in color. He has got Kamal-like eyes. Out of his Nabhi comes a Kamalam. And on that Kamalam, Brahmaji sits and he has outsourced the work to Brahma to create you and run the world. Does it appeal to you? We have something to hold on. Okay, so far. But Gita says you are whether I accept it or not, Krishna says you are an intelligent fellow. You will someday ask this question. Therefore, we have a set of cultures which says, ask a question, I will burn you at stake. Another culture says, ask a question, the teacher smiles at you and says, Come, I will explain to you. But you must be ready. You must do some preparatory sadhana. One set of preparatory sadhana is called S6. S6 easy to understand. Okay, remember. Shama, Dhamma, Uparama, Stitiksha, Shraddha, Samadha. S6. Okay. Then two more. S6 plus S2. Viveka Vairagya. Sorry, V2. S6 plus V2. If you have, you are ready. Easy formula. We are ready for knowledge. And when you are ready for knowledge, the teacher unfolds the knowledge to you. And while unfolding, he says in the first two verses, I will explain to you in detail. He says, I will explain to you. Hey Mahabaho, I will explain to you. I will not let your curiosity wander away. I'll explain to you. Hey Mahabaho, Shrunu me paramam vacha. I'm going to give you the ultimate knowledge to you. Reinforcing what he told in 7 and 9. In 7 and 9, he always told you, I'm going to give you total knowledge. He is going to give you the total knowledge. Shrunu me mahake. Acha. Yatteham priyamanaya. I teach it to dear ones. Doesn't mean partiality. It needs a certain frame of mind. Okay. Imagine, people. There are some people who casually ask you questions. There are some people who seriously ask you. I was fascinated, on the Republic Day, we were hoisting the flag. They're not hoisting, unfurling the flag. So I asked the child, do you know why are we unfurling the flag on the Republic Day? A child of 8 tells me this was the day in which the rules came into effect. I said, what rules? The rules how to run this country. I did pranam to the child. What a fascinating parents they are who have taught this child this thing. Then I asked the child a question. How old is our country? One fellow says 100 years. The most tragic reply was 75 years. A child again, the same 8-year-old child comes and tells me, Sir, God was born here. Therefore, this is older than God. I did pranam to the child. What a culture. Now tell me, if this child wants to know more, will I teach or not? Priyamanaya. The child has the samskara to learn more. Sorry. This beautiful word. It has the discerning capacity to know more. So out of 18 divisions of army, one Arjuna asked this question. He said, Priyamana, you are a dear one to me. Vakshyami hita kamyaya. I will teach you. And he says, Name viduhu suragana. It's not easy to know me. Because I am the cause of causes. Once again, let me go back to my handkerchief. Okay. There is a stripe here, no? Gray color stripe. So does the white know cotton better or stripe knows cotton better? Either whatever you are, stripe or no stripe, spots or no spots, nobody knows me well enough. Because they drive a very important point here. Sura, Suragana, Devatas have no capacity for individual knowing. They are all programmed grazers. They don't have the facility to do, not to do it differently. They have no choice. If Mahavishnu comes, all the Devatas have to come and pray. Whereas you have a choice. When Mahavishnu comes, he says, no, I am a shy white, I want to look at you. You have the freedom. No free will for them. That's why Suragana, they all get. Maharshis can know because they are mantra drishtas. They can know. But even they don't know me well. But hey Arjun, I'm going to teach you. And Mam, Ajam, Anadim. So, how old or when did God appear? Ajam, unborn, Anadi. I was never born. In fact, birth and death take place in me. Bring it closer. That's how you have to learn Vedanta. Bring it closer. You were awake. You are awake, I hope. Okay? Then we'll go to sleep after some time. You will go to dream state. You will go into deep sleep state. Tomorrow morning, you will get up and say, I had a lovely, somebody will tell me there was a big ruckus outside. Power went off for 5 hours. You say, I didn't know anything. I was asleep. There is a changeless platform, a changeless consciousness in which the waking, the dream, the deep sleeper, all of us were extended to the whole Srishti. Ishvara is, we would have studied in early one of the chapters. Na sato vidyate bhava, na bhavo vidyate satah. Ubhayorapi drishtontah tvanayor tattvadarshibhi. The tattvadarshi, he knows that the satvastu was never absent and the asatvastu was never existing. Okay, beautiful. We learned it all. That's why I'm quickly repeating it for you. So he says, one who knows me like this, okay, Veti Loka Maheshwaram. One, I am the conscious, I am that cause from out of which everything has come. I am the Ishvara which sustains the whole thing. One who knows me like this, okay, asammudaha, without confusion. Okay, such a person, sarva papai vimuchyate. You are freed from all problems. What problem? When it relates to the past, regrets. When it relates to the future, anxiety, insecurity, conflicts, struggle, wanting a life of becoming. You're free from all this once you know me well. Okay, so up to this point, now the teacher, having introduced, is now revealing the whole thing to you. So he says, there is a drishya papancha. So there is an external world. Okay, how do you know the external world? So there is an internal world. There are faculties which enable you to know this world and relate to this world. Understand both the external and internal are me. It is not that I made that and this happened by yourself. This is also me. But what you see there, I am the Samanya Karanam. How you see it and relate to it is Vishesha Karanam. And this Vishesha Karanam is also my law, my order. We'll see it. Little nuance. There are some, there are bariki, there's a lovely word in Hindi. There are fine nuances here. You have to be careful and understand. For example, this is a pen. External object. I see it differently. You may see it differently. I see it as a Waterman pen on which I spent a fortune. Okay, it cost quite some money. And having bought this, I will not use a 40 rupee ink. I use a 400 rupee ink. Okay, somebody will look at it and say, this fellow is arrogant about the money. See one fellow. See, the way you look at it is different. I look at it as a something I love to buy. I bought. Somebody else, why not use a 40 rupee ordinary ink, blue ink? Why do you have to use colorful inks? That does make it. And this internal thing is your making. The external is my making. The internal is also my making, modified by you. Okay, it is not that I made it myself. Let's look at it. Okay, verse number 4. Buddhir jnanam asammoha. Buddhir jnanam asammoha. Shama satyam damah shamaha. Shama satyam damah shamaha. Whole line. Buddhir jnanam asammoha. Shama satyam damah shamaha. Sukham dukkham bhavo bhavo. Sukham dukkham bhavo bhavo. Bhayam cha bhayameva cha. Bhayam cha abhaya bhavam cha bhayameva cha. Sukham dukkham bhavo bhavo bhayam cha bhayameva cha. All words. Buddhir jnanam asammoha shama satyam damashamaha sukham dukkham bhavo bhavo bhayam cha bhayameva cha. Once more. Buddhir jnanam asammoha shama satyam damashamaha sukham dukkham bhavo bhavo bhayam cha bhayameva cha. These are, see, when we talk about buddhi and about the internal faculties, we have to understand something very well. This entire Srishti is an endowment. Endowment means something given to you. Something given to you. The entire Srishti is an endowment. And to relate to this endowment, you have been given certain Shakti. So the physical Srishti, the Drishya Prapancha is Ishvara's material cause. Now, what are these faculties given unto you? They are also Ishvara manifestation. You have to understand this. Therefore, Buddhi is Buddhi, intelligence, intellect, is Ishvara's manifestation. Don't call anybody a fool. Because it is Buddhi is Ishvara's manifestation. The way my Buddhi works, different from the way your Buddhi works. That's where the modification comes. Okay? There was a child, we will call the child a differently abled child, was given a exercise. Please write the following names of fruits in alphabetical order. So orange, plantain, banana, all these things were given. Apple. No change there. The teacher marked a wrong. There's one more teacher who said, perhaps the child, not what will be the normal thing? You didn't understand my question. This teacher says, the child understood your question in which buddhi differently. You said the following fruits. So the word apple was written in alphabetical order. A-E-L-P-P. What is wrong in that? Buddhi, understanding. So when you see Ishvara, when you see the Buddhi as Ishvara, you have no problem about understanding any other person's thought process. If he thinks differently, there is no problem. It is Ishvara's manifestation. Ishvara's manifestation according to your prarabdha. So the light shining through a prism, light is perhaps shining through a smaller prism, bigger prism. Light is light. There is a reflecting medium. That also is Ishvara. Ishvara's order, buddhi, work. You will start looking at buddhi differently after you finish these two verses. Okay? We don't finish after we learn this. Okay, buddhi, jnanam. Jnanam is also Ishvara's manifestation. All types of jnanam. Okay, first let's call it knowledge. All types of knowledge. All types of knowledge. Not just Vedic knowledge. Okay, we have this culture during Saraswati Puja, Ayudha Puja. And the children are told, put your books there. What books there do they bring? Gita. They'll bring mathematics, physics, geometry box. I remember putting the geometry. Calculator. Harmonium. Whether it works or not. Pens. All forms of knowledge are Ishvara's manifest. I recognize that. I recognize that. And then you have a vehicle. You decorate with the flowers, do puja. Because the vehicle works on a certain jnanam. Somebody knew a certain jnanam. How to convert that fuel into fumes that makes the whole thing run. You go to a Bharatanatyam thing, they'll do one. You go to music thing, it starts with Maka Ganapatim, anything. The first thing will be Ishvara because it's a manifestation of Ishvara's Jnanam. Jnanam is a manifestation of Ishvara's order. Okay? So Buddhi, Jnanam, Asammoha, clarity is also endowment. Okay, clarity is not your creation. Clarity is an endowment. When you Buddhi works in a certain manner, works with a certain concentration, there is clarity. Asammoha, Ishvara's order. Understand this as my manifestation. Look at the depth. Do you have the capacity to forgive? Ishvara's manifestation. You know, Ishvara's manifestation, how it is available in India, in this culture. There was a fellow who invaded. That fellow was defeated. And he said, forgive me. This Raja forgave him and sent him. And that fellow came back and killed him. Ah, that's a history. Forgiving. Forgiving is in my culture. It is in my system. It is ingrained. He says, recognize this as Ishvara's manifestation. That's why there's this nice song in Hindi, no? Bhagwan ke kar der hai, andher nahi hai. Everybody is forgiven. There are no sinners. Something beautiful happened, if you see. England, there was a fellow called Pope who made England recover. And the fellow who won the Australian Open is called a sinner. His name is Sinner. So Pope and Sinner have one. There are no sinners in our culture. They say you are born of sin. I am not born of sin. I am born of parents. I am born of Ishvara's order manifesting itself. Shama is Ishvara. So you can say, I am a very soft-hearted person. Don't feel bad about it. It's Ishvara's manifestation. Ishvara's manifestation. Krishna says, 1,000 times I will forgive you. Don't worry. But at some point of time, you have to say no. You can't be a permanent forgiver. Shama. Satyam. Satyam is not just truth. It is an existential reality. That I am is an existential reality. That is Satyam. How to know it? Does this exist? Yeah. How do you know? Do you exist? How do you know? No, Satyam. Adan Satyam. I don't need to operate any other means of knowledge to know that I exist. Satyam. Okay, Satyam. Okay, now comes certain qualifications. One qualification is sensory restraint, Dhamma. I have sense organs which can run freely. You are free to let your senses run. You are free enough to restrain them. Okay, don't say control them. That's a freedom. See, for instance, every morning, along with all these greetings, there are some people who would love to send some videos. First thing in the morning, I see time sent 4:30. 4:30, he will send you videos. The name will come, I don't even have to see the number, means I know this will be the nature of the video. So some people say, after reading, I'll say, why does he send all this rubbish? Yeah, how do you know he sends rubbish? Because you read it. Delete it outright. Dhamma. When you know this anything from this source is going to be trouble. Why do you want to look at it? All along they'll be saying, please don't, what do you call that? Tap on any link which says, I am from this bank. They will tap the link, transfer 1 lakh rupees and then call me. Sir, I have done, sir, what should I do? So somebody had put on the Facebook today. I actually transferred, then complained to cyber cell and all these people, my money has come back. All Ishwara's grace. I said, Ishwara's grace, add there your Atma Kripa, your self-effort also. Because if you had not complained, money would have not come back. Because both of them go together. So sensory restraint is Dhamma. Shama is Mano. I would not call it restraint, intelligent application of mind. Or regulate, call it regulation. Intelligent application. No wasteful investment. No wool gathering. No wasteful. Even, see, wool gathering doesn't happen by consultation. It happens. When it happens, you say, wool gathering, I don't want. That's some. Mind goes into some anxiety. It doesn't consult you. You tell yourself, no need to be anxious. You bring it back. Bring it back. So, Shama, Dhamma, Dhammaha, Shamaha. Then two very important things in our life. Sukham, Dukkham. Why Ishvara says Sukham and Dukkham? Because he says the Srishti is like that. This order of the Srishti is, the law of the Srishti is, there is a Vastu. The Vastu has threefold limitation. Sukha, Dukkha, Mishritatvam, Bandhakatvam, Atriptikaram. This is the, what you call, the small letters. You buy something, it will be written in small letters there. And you buy, suddenly they do these advertisements, that fellow will suddenly read out loudly and very fast. Mutual funds are subject to market risk. Mutual funds are subject to market risk. Read the documents carefully. So that thing is there. So there is Dukkham. You see the market going up. There is a law of something which says what goes up has to come down. So, and then if you don't get out of the market in time, you will say, I lost so much. So Sukham, Dukkham, they are my orders. Order means it is not that Ishvara is saying Dukkha. He said there is a Drishya Prapancha. In the Drishya Prapancha, this is how it acts. How it works. There is a fire. If you know how to keep safe distance from it, you get warmth. If you know how to roast your, what is that, solam, maize, bhutta. But if you roast your hand, you'll get pain. Huh? The law. Now, suppose this pain was not there, Dukkham was not there, you will roast your hand as well. So, Sukham, Dukkham is built into the system. Part and parcel of it. It's a package deal. Two more. Bhava, availability, abhava, they are also there. Bhava, abhava is there also in my system. So, very often we say, what's his name? It is here. They say in Tamil, it's here. You are not able to recall the name. He says, Bhava, some people's name you readily recall, especially the fellow who took money from you and never repaid. Okay. But some people who did good to you, the name is here, you don't remember. He says, Bhava, Abhava, both are there in the Srishti. It's an endowment. They are both there. Okay. Bhava, Abhava. Another two very important things. Bhaya, Abhaya. Fear is protective. Fear is meant to protect you. Fear is given so that you are protected. You release. Look, fear built into the system. This black beetle, otherwise called a cockroach. You release it in the center of the room. It will go to the corners, dark corners where it will get camouflaged. Before running into a crevice, it has those whiskers. It raises the whiskers. The whiskers height is as broad as the broadest part of its back. So if the whiskers touch the top, it will turn root. If they don't touch, it will go. It will go inside. Protection. Bhayam. There is bhaya. All of us have bhayam. Okay. It's meant to protect you. And you also have abhayam. You have fearfulness. You also have fearlessness. Abhayam. Okay. So, bhayam cha Abhayam evacha. All these are my endowments. Let's look at one more set. Ahimsa samata tushtihi. Ahimsa samata tushtihi. Tapodanam yasho yashaha. Tapodanam yasho yashaha. Whole line. Ahimsa samata tushtihi. Tapodanam yasho yashaha. Bhavanti bhava Bhavanti bhava bhutanam matta eva pritak vidha. Bhavanti bhava bhutanam matta eva pritak vidha. Whole verse. Ahimsa samata tushtihi tapodanam yasho yashaha. Bhavanti bhava bhutanam matta eva pritak vidha. Now there is ahimsa. He says, ahimsa is my endowment. How do you know? Do you want to be hurt? We don't want to be hurt. That's called value for ahimsa. Do you want to be lied to? Do you want to be cheated? So you have value for ahimsa. So ahimsa is my endowment. In the coming sessions, we'll see ahimsa a little more in detail. Ahimsa paramo dharma. Why is it paramo dharma? Why all values spring from ahimsa? We will see that. When we see the ahimsa chapter 13, we'll see that. Ahimsa, paramo. Why is it a paramo dharma? We will see. But ahimsa is my manifestation. So if you don't want to hurt someone, from ahimsa springs shama. So if shama is expressed and it comes from ahimsa, understand it is my endowment. Samata, balance of mind. Balance of mind is my endowment to you. Oh, yeah, equipoise, a lovely word. Samata, balance, equipoise, a lovely word. Tushtihi, tushtihi is contentment. Contentment. And if... So can we say appeasement also? Yeah, tushti. No. Appeasement is different. Tushti is self. I have abundance. I have enough. What I have is enough for me is not tushti. Tushti is I have abundance. I have plenty. And if I need something, I have to stretch and Lord will fill it up for me. I have enough to give to the Lord. There is a beautiful thing, when Vaman Avatar, there is a song there, Tere Dwar Khada Bhagwan, Bhagat Bhar Dere Jholi. His jholi you fill. Bhagwan has come to ask you something. All these are what? Your buddhi, all these are endowments. Recognition of these endowments is tushti. Why do you go beg for money? You have got enough to make all this yourself. Tushti. Tapaha, the capacity of forbearance, of following austerities. Tapa. We'll call it austerity. Following tapa. Following austerities is tapa. Capacity to give is an endowment. Danam, yashaha, fame, yashaha, ill-fame, both are in me. Both are my endowments to you. These things make your life different. That accounts for the difference for our different life, different. Okay. Then these various types or endowments, pritak vidaha bhutanam, they account for difference among people. My srishti being samanya, remaining the same, the difference is accounted by the internal srishti of mine, which manifests according to your prarabdha. You have a body. The body is made up of panchabhuta, and then the panchabhutas come together in a combination of sattva, rajas, tamas. Based on its combination, you have, I'm going to use 4 expressions again. V1, V2, V3, V4. V1 is Varna Ashrama Dharma 1, otherwise called Brahmins. V2 is Varna Ashrama Dharma Kshatriyas. V3 Varna Ashrama Dharma Vaishyas. V4 Varna Ashrama Dharma Shudras. V3, V4 are wealth creators. Please understand this very, very clearly. V3, V4 are not lower castes. They are not lower caste. This is a very big mistake that has been mischief perpetrated on our culture and on our understanding, which a few people have used to divide us. Continue to use. V3, V4 are wealth creators. V2 are protectors. And then, lest the V2, V3, V4 combination become too strong, you have a V1 to keep them in check by telling them what is right, what is wrong. V1 is guidance authority. Okay? Ishvara Srishti, guidance authority. And if knowledge and wealth go together, that can become arrogant. Therefore, V1 is deliberately made to live in frugal life so that you are mutually dependent society. This is the beauty of the society. Mutually dependent. V1 depends upon V3 and V4. V4 is the V2 is the enforcer, is the protector, enforcer of dharma, takes his guidance from V1. This model has been copied ditto by having the church. There is a church, there is a Raja. But subsequently they found it inconvenient. So the Raja, nationalized the church. That's why Protestant movement started. That's how the problem. We'll see it some other time, not in our. This is Ishvara Srishti. This is what he introduces. And this accounts for the difference. We will see further. Okay. Go. Swasti prajabhya paripalayantam न्यायेन मार्गेण महिं महिषाः गोब्राह्मणेभ्यः शुभमस्तु नित्यं लोकाः समस्ताः सुखिनो भवन्तु काले वर्षतु पर्जन्यः पृथिवी सस्यशालिनीं देशोऽयं क्षोभरहितः ब्राह्मणाः सन्तु निर्भयाः सर्वे भवन्तु सुखिनः सर्वे सन्तु निरामयाः सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु मा कश्चित् दुःखभाग् भवेत् असतो मा सद्गमय तमसो मा ज्योतिर्गमय मृत्योर्मा अमृतंगमय ओम पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते ओम शांति 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 श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः हरि ओम। सद्गुरुनाथ महाराज की जय हो। स्वामी दयानंद महाराज की जय हो। पवन पुत्र हनुमान की जय हो। बजरंग बली की जय हो। श्री राम लल्ला की जय हो। जय श्री राम। Oh, have a wonderful week beginning. We'll meet again. Oh.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Oh.